little bit of bragging rights as well. Jayson and Skyler get on pretty well behind closed doors in the backstages of the practice room. Cue ball nearly got kicked in the side, but it didn't, and it looks like it's going to come through the gap, and well, these are nice, aren't they? So you can ask for off the break, just an open look at the lowest ball.
Already zipped through the opening rack on the other table. Mieszko Fortunski has taken it against Alexander Kazakis, who's back in action just a few moments after that defeat to Joshua Filler on this table. I mentioned Shaw was MVP at the Mosconi Cup again just before Christmas at Alexandra Palace. He also had a chance to clinch the winning point for the second year in a row and looked like he was on course to do it. Got off to a good start against Skyler Woodward in Europe's chance to clinch it. And then there was a miscue that turned it all around, and Woodward ended up winning 5-2 and delayed the European victory. Joshua Filler ended up being the man to clinch the winning point in the end.
Yeah, he's lost the cue ball a little bit there. That's far too close to that side rail. Now he's going to have to kind of strike down on the cue ball a little bit. That makes the pot a little harder. He has got a little bit of an angle though, so as long as he pots this 4, you would think the cue ball's going to come back over nicely for the 5.
A decent recovery shot, but he's left himself close to the rail again. Don't want to keep on doing that. Shane Van Bonen there looking on. He's going to be very happy with his couple of days. Negotiated just that little bit of added difficulty of the cue ball being on the rail. Woodward should find it straightforward from here. Three balls down off the break, and Woodward saw it out from there. He leads Jayson Shaw very swiftly, 1-0. So what's going on next door? There's Alex Kazakis at the table. He's on 3 wins out of 6 now. As for Mieszko Fortunski, he's hoping, as I was saying, to leave Max Lechner as the only player without a win by the end of today. Lechner's had 7 defeats. Fortunski just 4 so far. So if he can find a win here, still hope that he can turn it round and get right back into contention for a place in the second phase. Top 10 go through at the end of Friday night after everyone's played 15 matches.
Nice pot there, needs this cue ball to slow down, doesn't want it to roll behind the 5. And the struggles continue for Poland's Mieszko Fortunski.
Yeah, he's been a bit unfortunate to find himself no wins from 4. A couple of those have been hill-hill, including the defeat to Filler earlier. And 5-3 against Alban Ocean. First proper look then at Jayson Shaw in this match. From Scotland, but been based in the States for about 8 years now. Got his kids with him on this journey.
Yeah, his kids and his wife are here. I've not seen them around the venue though, so they must be hiding in the room.
Either that or they've just been going out early in the morning, leaving Dad to get on with it. Just makes it look so easy when he's in situations like this. And in no time at all, they've traded heavy blows and arrived at 1 apiece. It's going to be the same score on the other table. Absolutely simple 9-ball for Alex Kazakis. So all tied up on both sides of the arena. What will be your observations then, Carl, on the first 2 days of this new format, the Premier League?
Yeah, I think everything's about kind of how I would expect the big name players, you know, the players who've won them big titles, US Opens, and there's a man right there who's won 5 US Opens, SVB, watching his fellow Moscone Cup player and World Cup pool partner. Yeah, I think overall, no real big shocks. I think the fact that Max Lechner's not had the best of couple of days, yet to win a point, would be probably the story of the first 2 days. Top of the table's all about right. You know, you've got the likes of Filler, SVB, Albin, Al-Qaedi, Shaw. They're all lurking, aren't they?
Skyler, Woodward to break,
So,
1 rack each.
Nothing major to report. Nice cue ball control from Skyler, but it's going to be a dry break.
In terms of Lechner, 7 defeats now. If it starts getting to something like 10, 11, does an element of panic come into it then? It would be so humiliating to lose all 15, and he'd just be so desperate to get just that 1 win on the board. That in turn could make it much harder to do.
Yeah, obviously we talked about the fact that it's a race to 5 and it's a bit of a sprint, but surely you couldn't see somebody losing all 15.
But that's the thing, isn't it? It seems so unlikely that if he gets anywhere near it, a few more defeats and he will be closing in on it, it's really going to get into his head, and such a strange kind of pressure, but so much of it. Anyway, he's some way from that yet. Of course, they'll all want to beat him in their own individual matches, but I don't think anyone would want to see Lechner go away with 15 defeats. And he is less than halfway to that ignominy, so we'll leave that for another day.
Trying to get the cue ball back over towards that 7 and the pink 4 ball. Didn't quite get there, just another roll, and he would have done. Shaw's a very attacking player, very good potter. Is he going to be tempted at trying to cut this ball in? If he does have a go at that cue ball, he might have to play with a tiny bit of right hand spin, because the natural path sort of looks like it's going towards the 8. Obviously there's a big distance to go, so you never can quite be sure. But I think he's attacking this one. He did have a go, didn't he? And he did catch the 8, so at least he's not left an easy pot or anything like that for Skyler.
Quarter-finalist at last year's World Championship, Skyler Woodward. Not a huge amount else to talk about from his year. Was beaten by Mario He in the 3rd round of the US Open. Went into the loser's side and got within a couple of wins of getting to the single elimination stage, but was heavily beaten by Joshua Filler.
Beautiful safety shot there from Skyler, swinging that cue ball round the table to put it right behind that brown 7. Great vision, great execution there. Good hit there from Shaw though.
But the other aspect of the outcome of that shot will not be pleasing to him.
Didn't want the kiss on the 3. But it's just come high enough where he can cut the 2 ball in. He's going to play the cue ball off a couple of rails to gain position on the 3. Needs to avoid the centre, so he's decided to go high above that. Tricky shot coming up from the pink 4 to the purple 5. So he's just come around to have a look, see exactly where he would like the cue ball. I think he's going to have to play this shot really hard, you know. I think he's going to try and get into this cue ball with bottom right English. And he's got to watch that side pocket. And he's got to come back over the other side of the table, hit the other rail, and then come back. Oh, this is well done. This is well done indeed.
That was the obvious stumbling block. Still a little bit of work to do. He's just greatly enhanced his chances of regaining the lead. Talking there about his performances in the World and the US Open. Takes a special kind of player to win an event like that, so demanding. So do you think he's got the game to do that at some point in the next few years?
I think if he's going to do it, he's got to do it sooner rather than later, because he's getting more than enough opportunities. He's been, you know, in a lot of these Matchroom events the last couple of years. Obviously Matchroom pool of putting more events on the calendar, so that's good news. But shots like that, even though he's got away with it, are not going to help him win a major. But yeah, I don't see why not. I think he's probably just needs that win. Maybe he's the type of player, if he does get that big individual win, certainly a Matchroom title, then it would probably kick him on to do a bit more.
Yeah, it could be stepping stones, couldn't it? Win something like this or the World Masters and give him that taste of winning in this sort of environment. And then maybe move on from there to win one of those really long, grueling events, the longer matches.
Yeah, that's right. It's funny how it can work. You know, you're often looking for that major big title, and then when you do win it, other titles seem to come very soon after.
So Skyler Woodward was 1-0 up. He leads again against Jayson Shaw at 2-1. Hasn't been quite the start to this tournament Skyler Woodward was hoping for, but 2 wins out of 5 isn't too bad, and he's 2-1 up here against Jayson Shaw, who has the break in rack 4.
Parked the cue ball nicely, did Jayson. And because of that, he's got a shot at this 2 ball into the top left corner. Now, just on the right-hand side of the table, the pink 4 is going to be where things may go wrong. Probably going to be looking to play the pink 4 onto the 8 as a combo. First of all, he needs an angle on this 3 so he can get back over for the 4. So this combo on the 4, well, saying that, I've had a re-look. Getting a little bit giddy myself. The 4 goes up into the top pocket, so he can just play down below and shoot the 4 up to the top right. It's been a long day, Michael.
6 more of them to come, Carl.
Well, in that case, I'm probably going to call a few more shots wrong.
We'll all do a bit of that.
Didn't quite get on the 4 how he wanted, so he's locked Skyler up in jail. And if that cue ball is touching the 6, good luck hitting this one.
Extension code.
No surprise he's taking the extension. This goes wrong. Ball in hand. Strongly fancy 2-all from there.
It's just so difficult to hit this ball. I mean, is he looking at trying to bank the 5, the purple 5, back over towards the 8 just to try and make things difficult for Shaw? That's what he's done. Just try and tie this up. Doesn't want it to land on the rail.
Ball in hand.
Yeah, just threw in the towel, basically, in terms of trying to get out of it, which is understandable.
I mean, if it's frozen on the rail, the 8 ball's not on the rail, so that just changes things a little bit. But it's not a bad thing to do from Skyler. The chances of him hitting that 4 ball were very slim. And then obviously once you give ball in hand up and all the balls are over the pocket, you've lost the rack. So at least he's making Jayson play a shot. First of all, he's got to play a good positional shot, which looks a little hard. And this is what was good about the shot Skyler played.
Yeah, he had to play something, and in the end he wasn't going to use it to get an escape, so might as well use it for something. Oh, but in the end, Shaw has negotiated the trap that was laid. So looking like 2-2. Not entirely a formality yet, but it is 2-2 on the other table for Tunsky and Kazakis.
Not quite landed how he would like. So he's got to play another good shot. Might just risk playing it into the top left. Playing it into the top right is a bigger pocket. You can't really miss that shot. If you play it into the top left, you can miss it. Ah, watch the cue ball. He's going to rip this round the angles. He's got to hit this clean. Yeah, he's ripping it round. He's actually under it this. He was trying to go further to the left to play the brown 7 in the same pocket. Nearly got there, didn't he? Now, he does use a really long cue, so he would be able to reach this. I think his cue's something like 64 inches long, 66, something like that.
It's almost as tall as he is.
This is a thin one. He's having a go. Yeah, good shot.
Well, even with ball in hand, You wouldn't have described it as routine. Even after he'd made the combination to pot the 8-ball, it was still quite a conundrum.
At the table as well. He's on the blue 2, up to the top right and corner. Kazaka's just come here with a little bit of confidence, just won a pretty big tournament in the USA. Flew here on Saturday.
Attention, please.
Maybe even Sunday he arrived.
Yeah, I think it was pretty tight. It was quite late on Sunday when he got in, actually. He was talking yesterday about how he was tired, but coping better than he expected to. Didn't affect him early on. He won his first 2 matches, but what on earth was that?
Yeah, he took such a lot of time on that ball. He's thought about what he was going to do, and then he's forgot to pot the ball.
Thank you. Rack 5. Skyler Woodward to break, 2 racks each.
Every rack so far has been won by the breaking player. Woodward has that honour in the 5th.
Skyler can't pot this 1 ball in the side. There's no bank shot on. You can see an edge of the 1. But it doesn't look like there's a really obvious safety shot, even though you can see the left side of the 1.
Extension code.
Well, Skyler's had a good look at this because it is a tricky little spot that he's in.
Push out code. 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
So he's played the push and he's tied the green 6 and the brown 7 up. I think overall it's a pretty smart shot.
Yes.
I'd like this cue ball to find the top rail. I think he's left the gap. He's pushed the 1 ball too high. He didn't want to go that far up table. Now he's got to pray that this is dead straight. Because the cue ball's near the rail, this is dead straight. It's actually a horrible position to be in. That's why he's jacking up. This is brutal. He's trying to spear this ball in and draw back a foot. It was close, but he's missed.
We've seen it time and time again over these first couple of days. Anything from distance, bit of pace in these pockets. So tough.
So earlier on when Skyler tied them 2 balls up, that's what he's now banking on. He's banking on Jayson's positional shot. Well, he's playing a 4-9 combo. Don't really blame him. It's like a bit of a free go. He'll also try and play a good cue ball as well, just in case he misses this combo.
Has not yet led in this match. Still hasn't led in this match. And where's this going?
Well, he's completely lost the plot there. It's never an easy combo because of the distance between ball and pocket. And he was trying to get the cue ball back up on to the top rail, and it's all gone wrong. And now Skyler's going to be able to put the cue ball exactly where he wants to break out the 7 and the 6. What he's got to be careful of here is the cue ball doesn't get stuck behind the 7 or the 9. He needs to try and get the cue ball moving out as well. Like that. You see how it's come out? But it's gone wrong. Been a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah, he played it well, I thought. Deserved a bit better. And he's ended up quite literally all at 6s and 7s.
Just binding himself some time there. Where them balls are, it's very difficult to get the snooker, the hook, so just decided to bank the 6 up table and let Jayson try and fire at something or play safe.
Yes.
It's also a tricky spot that Jayson's in, as he calls extension. Well, he can't take on a bank because the 9 ball and the 8 ball, he's covering both pockets. Yeah, this is a good effort. Use the 8 and the 7. There you see, if you're watching at home, he's using that 7 and the 8 ball as a blocker. Good speed. Nice shot. Decided to try and make something happen. Didn't see any value in trying to kick safe. So he gave him a good old whack. He's left shore a pot here. This needs to move away from the 9. I think he just got there.
Yeah, it's one of those where half a roll less of the cue ball. He would have been in a spot of bother. Again, at pace from distance.
Trying to pinch a bit to get better on the 8 there. Should have just took his medicine, pot the 7. One of the greatest potters in pool, and just back yourself to pot the 8. He knows that. This is going a little bit close to the side. That was scary moments. It's been a funny little rack, this one.
It really has, hasn't it? It's not one either of them will particularly want to remember, especially whoever ends up losing it. But the thing is, no matter how the rack goes, no matter how many mistakes and mishaps there are along the way, you always end up with someone winning it. And in this case, eventually, it's Skyler Woodward, who now leads by 1 for the 3rd time in the match. It's 3-2. Also 3-2 on the other table. That might well be about to change, though. Mieszko Fortunski battling away here, still desperately looking for that first win. Left himself a bit more to do than he would have hoped. He'd still back him to get this one all day long.
Yeah, let's not forget, he's not won a point yet, though, so this is going to feel like an impossible 9-ball. Just got to trust in your cue action. Just like that. Nicely done. Ties the match up. 3-3.
Yeah, nearly all of his matches have been fairly close finishes. Heading for another one there. Got to ask you, Carl, as we have a moment. It's early in the year, I know, but any word yet on whether or not you're going to be a vice-captain at the Moscone Cup again when it comes around in Las Vegas in November?
I've not had the letter yet, Michael. Still waiting.
Do you know what? They are the exact words you used when I asked you that question this time last year. So that's your official line, isn't it?
So you're insinuating I know and I'm not telling you?
Oh, so you did know then?
No, I didn't know, no. I never tell fibs, pal. Not heard anything yet, so who knows?
Yeah, it is still a long way to go.
Maybe you'll get the gig, Michael.
Well, you know, if you can have a vice-captain in the commentary box, why can't you have a commentator as vice-captain?
Got a look at this 2-ball. Can he play it slow enough to stay on the 3? If he does, he's playing a drag shot here. Yeah, that's what he did. Aiming low on the cue ball. Still bounced quite far up table, actually. I thought it was going to be around the middle. Jason's actually said to me today, he says the tables are playing really quick out there.
Yeah, he's had some success already in 2022. It was quite a January for him all round. Won the Turning Stone Classic yet again. Was actually sent to the one-loss side by Fedor Gorst, but got back in and ended up beating Gorst in the final. Having been 9-4 down, turned it round to win 13-10. Very productive week at the Derby City Classic. Doing well across all the divisions. He was 4th in the 9-ball. And then, of course, he had that amazing run also in January when he had the record attempt. 714 balls in a row in straight pool. 51 straight racks, potting every single ball. And just beating out of sight the previous record. And didn't miss in the end, he just scratched. He was splitting the reset bunch off the last ball of the previous rack. Goodness knows he could still have been there now if it hadn't been for that. So what a January it was all round. February's not going too badly for him either. He's won 3 of his 4 matches so far in this Predator Premier League. And he may yet win this one as well, because he's tied it up for the 3rd time at 3-all.
Rack
Another
7.
close finish between two stars of the game to round off day 2 on the main table here at the Predator Premier League in Milton Keynes. What could be better? 3-all, Woodward breaks in rack 7.
Needs a bit of help off this 6 ball. It's another dry break.
Yeah, his second of the match. Every rack so far, though, has been won by the breaking player, one way or another. Alexander Kazakis is on the hill over on the other table. 4-3 up against Mieszko Fortunski.
Extension code.
Skyler attempted the long pot on the 1. And he's not got away with it. He's left Jayson a shot of the 1 ball here. It's all about the purple 5. I think the purple 5 goes in the bottom left pocket past the 9. If it does, that's fine. And there's the confirmation it does. So he's going to play this 3 ball now. He's going to leave a nice angle on the pink 4 to play it into the top left pocket and float the cue ball back over to this side of the table. Kind of where it is now, anywhere in that vicinity. If you just put a little circle where that cue ball is, you'll just be looking to land there with the cue ball. This is a tougher pot than that camera tells you. It's a lot thinner. Playing it into a blind pocket. Just played it with spin, didn't he? He didn't really play any stun on that, so maybe in the back of his mind he knew he was going to hit the 7 and leave himself this shot.
Quick look at what's going on the other side of the arena. Mieszko Fortunski desperately trying to make it hill here as he continues this quest for his first win. 4-3 down against Alex Kazakis. Needs a good shot here. It's a valiant effort.
You said before, Michael, didn't you? He's lost a lot of close matches, so it's not that he's playing bad. Just at the end of the matches, things are not quite happening.
Yeah, that's exactly the case. There's been a bit of that with Lechner as well. Over on the main table, Jayson Shaw hasn't been in front at any stage of the match until now, and he's picked a very good time to go in front because he's now 4-3 in front on the hill, and he's got the break in the next rack.
Yeah, and Fortunski did miss that 8 ball, so Kazakis has got a couple of balls to put more misery on Poland's Mieszko Fortunski, and he's going to do that. Kazakis is going to win that match over on table 2.
And we arrive there just in time to see him apply the finishing touch. Alexander Kazakis, a 5-3 winner, So it's 5 defeats from 5 for Mieszko Fortunski, which means Max Lechner will not be the only player going into day 3 still looking for his first win. As for Kazakh, World Cup teammate.
Bracket. Jayson short break on the hill.
Well, he's going to get a nice split here. He's got a shot on the 3, the 4 balls up towards the top right. This is the chance he's after. That's all you can ask for when you get on the hill. Just an open shot at the lowest ball and a nice split. No clusters anywhere, and that's exactly what Jayson has been given.
Yeah, it's a really sweet outcome for him. He's got a taste for the winning line, whatever the tournament, whatever the situation. If he can finish the job here, it'll have been a pretty good day for him as well, and a pretty good first 2 days overall. He'll finish with 4 wins and just the 1 defeat, and that was against David Al-Qaedi, one of the highest ranked players we have here, so he'll be quite pleased with his situation.
Yeah, the 8 ball sat nice on the left side of the table. He can just play a little stop shot now and play the 9 in the right-hand centre pocket.
So never got in front until he went 4-3. And then with the break, he has absolutely zipped through the clinching rack. Jayson Shaw, the winner, against Skyler Woodward by 5 racks to 3 in the last match to finish on day 2 of the Predator Premier League. So we're going to have a look at where it leaves things now. In terms of the league table, remember 10 players from the 16 will go through to the next phase. Alban Ocean and Joshua Filler, both with 6 wins out of 6. Shane Van Boning, as we were saying earlier, also 100%, although he's played 1 match less. And David Al-Qaedi in very good shape, 5 wins as well, just that 1 defeat along the way. Jayson Shaw just behind, he's also only lost 1 from the 5 he's played. Alex Kazakis nicely played as well, although as you can see he's played more matches than anyone else in that graphic. Kelly Fisher's had another very good day, she's played really well at times. In fact, she's a bit unfortunate, it wasn't even better. 3 wins out of 5 in total for her, and Francisco Sanchez Ruiz really turned things around after losing all 3 yesterday. He won all 3 today. Oliver Sholnoki, Naoki Oi, well, they're both still on track to go through, but everyone else has really got to step up a bit, particularly Lucius Yap, only 1 win out of 7, and Max Lechner, no wins from the 7 he's played. Along with Fortunski, they are the 2 players who still have not got a win on the board. Eklund Kachi's a real surprise as well. Only 1 win from 5 for him. And it all starts again in pretty much exactly 12 hours from now. Lucius Yap looking to really improve tomorrow. He's up first against Naoki Oi on the main table. Max Lechner, he's had a rotten time of it on days 1 and 2. Will day 3 be any better? He starts it against Skyler Woodward. Lucius Yap back on then to play Sholnoki. Then it's Oi returning to play Kazakis. And a double header